Hello, welcome. We'll get started here real quick. Hi, I'm Jordan Breitner. I am the founder of Cool House Labs. I just wanted to welcome everybody and introduce Chris Taylor, who's our mayor, who's going to give a quick welcome.
Hi there. Well, thank you very much. It's my great pleasure to be here today, and it's such an exciting event having these two great accelerators come to Ann Arbor and have you entrepreneurial types show your stuff. The entrepreneurial ecosystem in Ann Arbor is growing, and I couldn't be more excited about it. There are, of course, all sorts of different reasons to be enthusiastic about it. I mean, it's jobs, it's growth, it's blah blah blah, it's all those things, and that's all really cool, and that's necessary. But what's important to me as a mayor is, well, there are all sorts of different things that are important to me as a mayor, but with particularity, I'm excited about the people that show up as entrepreneurs, the people that show up to work in the entrepreneurial community. They are energetic, they're optimistic, they are willing to work hard, and they know that, that great things are born from lots of little failures. And those are the sorts of people that, that help make a city, a growing city, a vibrant city great. When they get involved in community events, and community activities, they grow and prosper. When they get involved, God willing, in municipal activities, as I hope you all will, things get better even still. And so I'm just so excited that you're here, that you have this opportunity to strut your stuff, to show your things, and that you'll see what you like in Ann Arbor and make a day, a year, and even more of it. So thank you so much. Next, I'd like to introduce Kelly LeBrea.
Hi, guys. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Kelly LaPierre, and I'm the managing director of the Desai Accelerator. And the Desai Accelerator is a joint program at the University of Michigan between the Center for Entrepreneurship at the College of Engineering and the Zell Lurie Institute at the Ross School of Business. And so while our accelerator program is open to the national startup community, we really capitalize on our extensive network here at the University of Michigan, our 540,000 living alumni, as well as our 40,000 active current students. And so the 5 companies you're about to see represent our inaugural cohort here, and I am so honored to have been a part of their journey over these past 13 weeks. So without further ado, I am going to introduce Jeff from the university's Division of Public Safety to introduce our first team.
Well, thank you very much. I am Jeff McDowell. I am the Senior Technology Officer for the Division of Public Safety and Security at the University of Michigan, and I am going to introduce Companion. I've been in the technology and law enforcement field for 25 years, and it is actually, from a technology perspective, a conservative field. We are less CSI Miami and more law and order. You call for help, we respond. But that's not good enough. That is not good enough in our community here for our 80,000 faculty, staff, student, patients, and visitors. It's not good enough anywhere. The complexity of today requires a different model of safety and security. We have to prevent the bad thing from happening. We have to be there before it happens. We have to protect our faculty, staff, students. Actually, as a father, I am nervous about the idea of my daughter going away to college, and I don't have to let her go to college. She can sit in her living room and do what she needs to do. Why should she come to campus? So for the last 25 years, I've not felt that a job has been done, that we have not moved that bar ahead to really address what makes a difference in safety and security until about 6 months ago. And I met a group of current U of M students, now alumni and students, that had an idea. They had an idea and they had a product. And they had enthusiastic users, and they got our attention. There's a big difference, a big distance from an idea to a product to enthusiastic users. But what was most impressive was not that they came to talk to us about a technology, they came to talk to us about apps, but they came to talk to us about their idea. And their idea was they needed to find a way that their friends could be safe on campus. Now, in order for us to try to figure out a way to prevent the bad thing from happening, we need data. We need real-time data. We have to figure out where do we need to be, what do we need to be doing. And that is what has made Companion so exciting to us, because they give us the ability to have that insight, to put our resources where they need to be, when they need to be there. And that is not something, I am telling you, that is maybe assumed to be the case, but it's not really how most law enforcement agencies can work. They can only respond to when the bad thing happens. And so when I look back at sort of what happened to the product, I realized that I'm not excited about necessarily just the technology, but it was the passion from the founders, that they came and talked to us about keeping people safe. And throughout the 6 months that they've developed their product, that has been the singular focus. Everything has been in support of how to keep people safe. The University of Michigan is going to be better for the Companion app being available to the current students. And it's because of that singular focus on safety and finding the correct technologies to enable it. And that's why it is my pleasure to introduce Nathan from Companion.
Thanks, Jeff. That was really great. Hi, I'm Nathan, like you said, the founder and co-founder and CEO of Companion. This is what we picture when we think about college. Drinking, playing beer pong with your friends, going to the bar, and oh yeah, studying. Look, I get it. I was just a student a few months ago. There's me, actually, in the top right of this photo. But what happens after the party's over? Students often find themselves walking alone. Regardless if you're a guy or girl, freshman or senior, walking home alone is extremely nerve-wracking and unsafe. Today, more than ever, is this issue receiving public attention. Just recently, the Washington Post published a survey that stated 1 in 5 female undergraduates here at U of M have felt some sort of sexual assault. Too often do we see missing person posters appearing on the national news. These don't just have an effect on the student, but the student's family and the community as a whole. That's why we built Companion, so you never have to walk home alone. Our mobile app allows you to easily reach out to your family and friends and have them keep an eye on you as you walk home late at night. Harnessing data from the Companion mobile app, public safety organizations can make smarter decisions. Here's how it works. For students, all you have to do is plug in where you're going and select a few companions from your contact screen. Regardless if they have the app or not, they'll see your progress in real time. They'll be notified if you go off course, you start running, your headphones get yanked out, or you don't make it to your destination in time. At any point, you can reach out directly to campus safety for help or report an area nervous. Whether it's the light out behind the library or that homeless guy in your corner, the nervous button is just a tap away. Ultimately, when you do get to your destination in time, your companions are automatically notified. You don't even need to take your phone out of your pocket. Now, this is what it looks like for public safety departments today. The primary source of data for them is traditional 911 calls. However, these calls typically occur after the crime has already happened. The Companion Monitoring Service will provide public safety departments with new sources of data they've never had access to before. Here's what they would see. The blue pulsating circles represent areas on campus where students have felt nervous. Now, this is both in real time and tactical. For example, we can provide the department with information such as students feel most nervous at the corner of State Street and Packard Street on Thursday nights between 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. The green dots represent students who have the Companion mobile app installed on their phone moving about campus. The student's privacy is completely protected as all the dots are anonymous. Ultimately, this will help the department position the patrol cars more optimally to prevent crime from happening in the first place. In the case of an emergency, a student can reach out directly to campus safety from the Companion mobile app. We launched here in Ann Arbor last semester, and we saw over 5,000 users. We made an immediate connection with Jeff in the Department of Public Safety. We've been working closely with them to improve safety here in Ann Arbor. And I'm proud to announce that today, U of M has signed to be Companion's first customer. Partnered with student governments this fall, we're rolling out Companion to 13 universities around the country. Campus ambassadors will be crucial to maintaining engagement and distributing the Companion app throughout the entire year. Each school we've selected varies in size, location, and type. This will help us identify and determine exactly what's working on a specific type of campus. While we were rolling out the Campus Ambassador Program just last week, this happened. In the last 7 days alone, we've seen over 500,000 people sign up and actively use Companion. Now, the app is viral in its nature. We allow users to reach out to anyone in their contacts book, regardless if they have the app or not. Of these companions, 1 in every 3 will come to Companion, download the app, and start a trip of their own. Now, it's not just the US that we've seen people using Companion. On every continent around the globe, people are using Companion every night to get home safe. If you're interested in working with us and making sure nobody has to walk home alone, come find me after. Thanks.
How's everybody doing? It's call and response. There we go. When I was invited to introduce someone as amazing as Mary Lemmer in Foodscape, I briefly thought the coolest thing to do would be to simply say, Mary Lemmer. Drop the mic. But I realized the Minions did that this summer in their movie, and I'm not a repeater. Serendipity means a fortunate happenstance or a pleasant surprise, and that's just one definition I would use to illustrate my meeting and friendship with Mary Lemmer. Several years ago, U of M invited me to join a program called 30-Minute Mentor, and basically it's 30 minutes with juniors and seniors talking about common interests and possible guidance. Well, it took less than 30 minutes for me to see that Mary Lemmer was a force of nature, well beyond her studies and degrees, and someone who was going places and changing business landscape. Our friendship grew well beyond those 30 minutes, finding, among other things, a business relationship when her and her brother Nick and their amazing gelateria Ioreos have become a very strong anchor tenant in my family's building at Maynard House. Mary's entrepreneurial skills, savvy, and drive could easily write a book. Wait a minute. She did write a book before she was 21. But that shouldn't surprise anyone who's ever met her. What you find in a common thread in Mary's world is the desire to help people in the most generous ways. Ever the resourceful futurist looking beyond the simple, this veteran foodie has designed an incredible new business to bring garden freshness, nature's nutrition, and community to virtually anyone. Seeing that things like farm to table and CSA were more than a trend, Mary and Foodscape are going to reinvent not just access to growing and sharing great produce, but in the process will start shaping, or should I say scaping, the way we understand and appreciate the space and place we live in. How cool is that? Okay, it's time for you to meet her. Mary Lemmer, my friend and force of nature.
Thanks, Jeffrey. Hi, I'm Mary, founder and CEO of Foodscape, an online marketplace that makes it easy to grow and share food. My experience in food and technology over the past 13 years have led me to start Foodscape. And my story starts with a personal one. I love fruits and vegetables, and I wanted to grow some of my own. So I channeled my former vegetable gardener and my farm volunteering roots, and I got to work. And I had to be creative. I used my skateboard to move soil. I got my hands dirty. I took this pile of cinder blocks and built a raised vegetable garden bed. And soon enough, I had a beautiful garden with 3 raised beds and several other spaces for planting. But even after it was all set up, it was still a lot of work and needed more time than I was dedicating. So my plants started to look like this. And so from this experience, I learned that growing food is hard, whether in a yard or on 3 acres. Growing food takes knowledge, it takes time, and it takes money. So I started looking for some help. I posted on Craigslist, I looked in meetup groups, and different online forums, trying to find gardeners or veggie enthusiasts that would help me with my garden. And I found these two through an online forum. They'd come to my garden and help me with some of the chores in exchange for part of the harvest, because they missed getting their hands dirty and the garden fresh produce that they got to enjoy from their upbringing. And pretty soon, the garden was growing gangbusters, and we had more food than the 3 of us could eat. And so instead of letting the tomatoes fall and die, I chose to invite friends and neighbors to get some of that extra produce. So I posted on Nextdoor and Facebook and sent emails and said, hey, I have some extra vegetables in my garden, do you want some? And within a day, I had dozens of people saying, me, I want some. And so in exchange for my extra produce, people brought wine, people brought money. One lady even brought me her handwritten book of poetry in gratitude for the extra vegetables. And as I started digging in, pun intended, I learned that I wasn't alone in this challenge of growing and sharing food. Turns out, 44 million households in this country are growing food, and even more are trying, but are actually growing weed farms, and not the medicinal kind. So let's dig into those numbers a little bit more. 44 million households, or 1 in 3 households, are growing food in this country. And last year, 114 million people participated in some form of vegetable gardening activity. And the fastest growing segment of the population of gardeners are millennials, which has grown over 63%. And the demand for local food is growing more and more. People are wanting this food that these people are growing. Out of the $1.4 trillion spent on food last year, $7 billion was spent on local food. And this number has increased 100% year over year in the past 7 years. $1 billion of that last year was spent at farmers markets, and at grocery shoppers, 4 out of 5 are looking for local options. So with these market forces at play and our love of fresh vegetables, we decided to create a marketplace that would make it easier to grow and share this food. So without writing any code, we created a marketplace that allowed people to find the resources they needed to grow and share food in their communities. How it would work is that someone would come to our site and tell us about their garden needs. Then we'd magically send someone over to help them grow food so that they could grow delicious, fresh fruits and vegetables in their own yard or space. And then we allowed them to sell and share their extra harvest to their friends, neighbors, and community. We helped dozens of people grow food and share food. People loved sharing their backyard bounty with their friends, neighbors, and community. They especially enjoyed another excuse to see their friends and a way to meet people in their neighborhood who they wouldn't otherwise meet. And it was this sharing behavior that was incredibly compelling and a behavior that we saw that we could make easier and scalable through an online marketplace. Just as Airbnb and Couchsurfing took the existing behavior of sharing extra couches and rooms with friends and people they knew and made it easier and transactional using an online marketplace, we are taking the existing behavior around sharing food and making it easier and transactional using an online marketplace. Here's how it works. Irene is growing tomatoes, and in less than a minute, she lists her Foodscape, telling us a bit more about what she's growing. She shares her Foodscape with her friends, neighbors, and others in the Foodscape community, and the front row here. Everyone in the front row decides to contribute $5 to Irene's tomato growing in exchange for some of the extra harvest. And then once the tomatoes are ready, Irene sends a message and says, hey, the tomatoes are ready, come pick them up. And then everyone who contributed gets to enjoy some fresh tomatoes from their contribution. We take a 10% transaction fee, and the rest goes to Irene, the Foodscape host. And we're seeing already from our experiments that on average, a Foodscape host is worth $160 in a year, which means that it takes us 600,000 hosts to build a $100 million business and creates a $7 billion market opportunity with the existing supply of people growing food. How do we reach those 600,000 hosts? Through direct channels, so next door and a direct mail campaign to a proprietary urban and small farm database, and then social and press channels. And then through our partnerships with 4-H organizations, garden stores and nurseries, and other organizations like Master Gardeners that are affiliated with people growing food, all with a reach in the hundreds of millions. And we have the team to do it. In addition to myself, who you heard more about from Jeffrey earlier, we have a team of 3 full-stack developers, a UI/UX designer, all with a complementary skill set and experience growing and sharing food. And today, we are happy to announce that our beta is live, and we'll be testing out our product with bringing people off our wait list as we improve our product experience so that we're prepared to bring more people on the platform to find the time, knowledge, and money they need for the spring 2016 growing season. And you can all help today in one or all of 3 ways. First, sign up and tell your friends who are growing food to sign up for our beta, especially people that are growing food at companies, community gardens, and schools. Second, if you know of any nurseries, master gardeners, or other folks affiliated with growing food, we'd love to chat with them. And third, you can all pull out your phones right now and follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, especially if you love photos of food or want to know when there's a Foodscape in your area so you can get your hands on some of those fresh tomatoes. And speaking of fresh tomatoes, if you want to share some of our extra harvest, come talk to us afterwards in the lobby. Just remember to bring your $5. Thank you.
Seriously, you guys should go check those out because those tomatoes were awesome. So great job, Foodscape. My name is Chris Hake, and I'm operating partner and one of the original founders of a company called Grand Apps. And we're based in West Michigan, and we built over 150 mobile apps across the globe for clients. So we like to boast that we're one of Michigan's largest app companies. I don't really know how to gauge it, but that's our boast. So I'm here to introduce RunThatApp, a great company. So back when I started Grand Apps in 2011, we ran into a few problems, but as entrepreneurs out there, you probably run into tons of different problems. And one problem that kept coming back was this problem where you're trying to preview your app to your client. And if you're trying to build them an iPhone app, if they don't have an iPhone, you can't really preview that for them. So that's a pretty big problem. They have to go borrow an iPhone or get an iPhone. Same thing with Android, too. So when I was approached by this company, I knew instantly that it was going to help revolutionize the way developers and companies actually preview their apps to their clients. So we're actually part of one of their pilot programs, and we've been using their service out. It's been great. We can easily and effectively preview our apps to all of our clients. And I really believe they're going to help out, tons of different developers and mobile app companies like myself. So they're going to revolutionize the industry. So it's my pleasure to introduce you guys to Chris with RunThatApp.
Thank you, Chris. Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Talenda, co-founder and VP of Marketing for RunThatApp. And today, I'm going to tell you about a big problem in a gigantic market and how we at RunThatApp provide a new level of profit generation and savings across all of it. We all know the app market is big, but how big? Well, $20 billion were spent developing mobile apps last year. $29 billion was spent on in-app advertising for apps last year, with $36 billion being generated in App Store sales from the 138 billion apps downloaded in 2014 alone. It's a big world of apps out there, and it's growing bigger at roughly 40% each year. We at RunThatApp love the phenomenal dynamics of this market at this lucky time in history, the amazing app gold rush. But just as in the gold rush of the 1800s, where an individual miner could go bust or strike it rich, individual apps can do the same. So rather than capitalizing on this market with an individual app, we want to capitalize on the entire market. In the app gold rush, we aren't a miner. We are a provider of shovels, clothes, and food to all miners. And as is the case with many companies, for us, things started with a chance conversation between friends. Last year, I created an awesome running app that allows you to build a circular route based off the same starting and ending spot. But I struggled with 2 main things. First, I needed feedback. But because I didn't own an iPhone, I couldn't even test my own app away from a computer. In order to get feedback, other platforms required me to upload my compiled code, gather a ton of tester emails, and distribute a new build each time even just a small icon was changed. Also, my app wasn't on the App Store, so I couldn't even have friends download it. After research and meeting with mobile developers, I realized I was not alone in having this problem. Second, I wanted people to actually use my app, but it was difficult to promote my product quickly with limited financial resources. I knew my product wasn't perfect, but there was nothing I could do about it. And ultimately, the market kindly pointed this out to me through reviews. After more research and meeting with more developers, I realized I was still not alone in having these problems. So I mentioned some of these frustrations to my friend Jim Merkel, now our CTO. With a lot of highly challenging work and discovery, he developed a solution that's insanely cool. What we have now allows users to run iPhone, iPad, and Android apps remotely in any web browser at high resolution and full speed. With this, getting to and running an app becomes as simple as playing a YouTube video. Anyone with a mobile phone, laptop, desktop, or any other device with an internet browser can run the app this way. No special software or plugins are needed. All that is needed is to upload the actual native app to our servers with no code changes or cross-platform libraries added, and the world can run that app. So what does this mean? It means that app developers and publishers, big and small, can significantly increase sales, save significant time and money on promotions and gathering feedback, and save significant time and money on testing. And here's how. We all know app ads today show up and they're either pop-ups, click links, or animations, and that's how a lot of mobile developers are selling their products. We want to take that to a whole new level. With RunThatApp, playable ads and the ability to allow users to try an app before buying or installing it become possible. The app becomes the ad, and this is useful because it has been shown that playable ads double the sales compared to non-playable ads. An app developer can easily show his app to anyone, even if it's not yet on the App Store, and even if the user has a different platform. An app developer can gather feedback from anyone, anywhere, at any stage of the app development process. An app publisher can promote his apps rapidly and inexpensively because he can allow anyone to access the actual playable app from within an email or on a web page. An app developer has an increased availability of testers and a decreased cost for testing because with RunThatApp, there's no need to be physically local. There's no need for any particular hardware, and there's no need to release your compiled code or to let anybody download it. Additionally, our platform allows for collaboration where multiple users can see and interact with the same screen in the same app as it runs. So, where are we with all of this? We have a complementary team comprising of a highly experienced software developer with excellent and rare domain-specific expertise, a business person who has co-founded several startups, including 2 IPOs that trade on NASDAQ, and yours truly, a marketing business development person with excellent experience in the app world. Our system is built on low-cost servers and emulation, not hosting apps in a warehouse full of iPhones and Android phones, so our costs are very small. Our platform is built to minimize bandwidth so that users with limited data plans are well accommodated. We currently have 10 mobile app companies enrolled in our early pilot program, using our technology for everything from testing to app promotion. One of them is a company whose CEO contacted us 2 days before a major presentation of their core app. The team had previously used video conferencing to show their app, but were completely unsatisfied with that approach. With our technology, they were able to demonstrate their core app to senior teams at 2 prestigious multinational corporations. The teams were able to fully interact with the app and see and experience its complete functionality. This is what the CEO of Map My Beauty had to say afterwards about RunThatApp. It ended up being such a lifesaver. The potential clients could see the app in the works, got a clear idea of how it worked, and both calls led to a proposal. Additionally, we've teamed up with one of Michigan's largest mobile app developers, Grand Apps, who you saw introduce us today. And we are so excited to announce a mutual partnership in which they plan to add all 150 of their mobile apps to our platform within the next 3 months. We are so excited to work with them so that we can spread playable demos of their products like seeds across the web. We're also excited today to extend a private invitation to our early pilot program to everyone in this room. So if you're interested, please come find us after the pitch. And furthermore, we are excited to open our services to the world within several months. So if you would like to join in our venture, please come find us after the presentation. And if you're passionate about giving anyone, anywhere, the easy ability to run that app. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Patty Glaza, and I'm with Invest Detroit. And my team, where's Martin and Adrian? Where are you guys? We have two funds, First Step Fund and Detroit Innovate, and over the past 5 years, we've invested in over 77 Michigan companies. So today, I want everyone to take just a quick second and look around and think about what you see. So we see a lot of flannel, we see some beards. Where's Joe? Joe has the best beard of anyone. But maybe more importantly, think about what you don't see. Less than 1% of Google's workforce is black. Less than 2% are Hispanic. Less than 17% are women. And this is not alone to Google. Many entrepreneurs do the right thing. They see a challenge and they find an opportunity. And this company coming up next has just found exactly that. They're building a platform that will match qualified, diverse candidates with the corporations that are seeking them. So it is my pleasure to welcome Takesha Lee, who is the CEO of DiverseNote, who's really solving a huge problem that can have a big impact on all of us.
Thank you, Patty, for that introduction. As Patty stated, my name is Takesha Lee, and I am the founder and CEO of DiverseNote. At DiverseNote, we're solving a large problem, the problem that corporations face with successful diversity recruitment. DiverseNote is the career management and software platform for professionals within the diversity community and corporations that seek the best of the world's talent. And let me share with you a little bit about our successes so far. We've successfully assisted federal government with their diversity recruitment accomplishments and goals, and I'm excited to tell you more today about how we are taking this to the private sector. I've had some great experiences throughout my professional career as a consultant to the U.S. Department of State on education and job creation in the Middle East and North Africa, as well as an account manager at a large advertising agency that had the United States Navy as their largest account. The goal for this account and its events was to manage or increase recruitment, specifically diversity recruitment. I managed the ESPN X Games, the Army-Navy game, and all of their national events to reach this goal. And in order to do that, we did things that companies still do today: attend college career fairs, have recruitment booths, buy college email lists, as well as the use of job boards, specifically job boards that market to individual diversity groups. But the problem with this is that there are many groups and platforms, or talent is spread across several different platforms. So recruiters don't know exactly if they're recruiting qualified candidates or if they're actually recruiting diverse candidates. And just to make sure we're on the same page, diversity is all inclusive. It includes all women, all ethnic minorities, the LGBTQ community, as well as veterans and those who are disabled. But diversity in the workforce is not just a problem that the United States Navy has. It's also a challenge that large companies like these tech companies have that are listed here. For example, companies like Google, Amazon, and Facebook have a very low percentage in women that work at these companies. For every 100, only 30 are women. And when it comes to leadership and ethnic diversity, the numbers are even worse. Out of every 100 staff members, the numbers are as low as 27 that are in leadership roles that are ethnically diverse. But diversity in the workforce is a good thing. Studies have shown that women-led tech companies versus their male counterparts bring a 35% greater return on investment, as well as a 12% greater increase in revenue. And as you can see here, the press has drawn quite a bit of attention to this challenge corporations face as well. As you can see in the Guardian article, last year, Facebook only hired 7 African Americans nationally. Companies have acknowledged their challenges and are trying to solve the problem. They are allocating large portions of their recruitment budgets specifically for diversity recruitment, like Intel, who's allocated as much as $300 million, and Google as much as $150 million to solve their diversity recruitment challenges. DiverseNote is a software-as-a-service platform that provides the solution to the challenges these corporations face. We have intellectual property that provides companies with an equal employment opportunity compliant way to recruit diversity. It's one platform that has all diversity groups within the same platform. I'm excited to announce that in the fall, we release our new platform, and I'm going to give you some insight as to how it works. Upon the completion of a corporate and recruiter profile, recruiters are able to search for diverse candidates based on the traditional skill set and experience factors, but also diversity factors. They're able to track a candidate's experience from the interview process all the way up to the exit of their company. They are also able to establish mentor and mentee relationships for new and current staff members. To increase our membership, we've established working relationships with national associations like the National Black MBA Association and the National Council of La Raza. And we've also established over 60 working relationships with colleges, universities, and alumni associations. The quality of our membership is very important. And I'm excited to announce today that DiverseNote has over 1.3 million members to date. We are in discussions with companies like Ann Arbor-based Duo Security, John Deere, and Pepsi to begin diversity recruitment on the DiverseNote platform. And as I've pointed out, we've seen the challenge with diversity recruitment or in the success rates that companies are having so far. If you're interested in learning more about DiverseNote or diversity by the numbers, and if you know of companies that believe diversity in the workforce and having success in their recruitment experiences is important, please find me after the event. I'm excited to talk. Thank you for your time.
Hi there, good afternoon. I'm Bob Cuny, and I had to make notes about who I am. I am the entrepreneur behind Blue Note Software. You probably don't know me. I've been around a long time here. But we are a local cloud computing software company. We make scalable solutions to hard problems. I was introduced to the next entrepreneur you'll meet a few short months ago through Desai. And it was clear that we had a lot of experiences to share. See, I and my team 2 years ago created and now operate the world's first real-time player tracking system for the NFL called Next Gen Stats. It's a system that aims to transform professional football on many levels, and you can see us on TV Sunday, and Xbox if you have one of those. That's what we're most excited about today. So how does that experience relate to this next startup? I won't spoil the surprise. I'm pleased to introduce the talented, passionate, and engaging founder of Telemetrio, Marco Cucco, to tell you more. Marco.
Thank you, Bob. And hello, everyone. My name is Marco Cucco. I am Telemetrio CEO. And what you're hearing is not a speech impediment. No, it's not. It's an accent. An Italian accent, in fact. And then as Italian, I love soccer and sports deeply. And I played it all my life, including when I was a child. But one of the things I always struggle with is the fact that any memories you create on the field are gone. You make this great pass, and it's gone. You score this beautiful goal, and it's gone. Now, of course, nobody was following me with a camera as a child. In fact, this is the only image I have that even proves I was around a soccer field in my youth. Oh, well, of course, nowadays things are a little different. You see plenty of parents on the sidelines. They have camcorders. They have their little phones. And if you're Tom Cruise, well, you can show up at the game with $40,000 worth of equipment. But now, nevertheless, as I was going around the country, trying to understand the recreational youth sports market better, I couldn't help but notice how technology is still behind and how the segment is still underserved. And how many memories are made just to be wasted, never recorded, never shared, certainly never analyzed. So let me give you a quick example of a family, Josh and Miranda. They have 3 beautiful kids, Olivia, who plays soccer, Kevin, who loves basketball, and Sarah is a great little dancer. Now, this family has a huge amount of commitments. a busy schedule full of sports events. And that means the two of them have to divide and conquer. It means that one of the two at any given time will miss a game, a practice, a great goal, an awesome three-pointer, or a perfectly executed pirouette. But more than anything, what they are missing is the moment of joy, the moment the smile on the kids' face as something glorious unfolds. And they are not alone in this. In fact, 200 million people in the US play sports. Of those, 50 million people play at least once a week. In addition, 25% of all travel generated in the US is generated by people like Josh and Miranda, taking their kids to sports events. And playing is expensive. If your kids play sports, travel sports, they're bound to pay about $3,000 per year per sport per child. So you're probably starting to get the common thread in here. It is perhaps something that yourself have experienced. Schedule becoming more and more unbalanced because of all of these sports activities. Playing sports becoming more expensive and not an easy way to freeze time. Record those memories, share them, analyze them, until now. In fact, Telemetrio has developed a platform. It's patent pending, it is automated, and it is scalable. It is perfect for youth and recreational players. You can use it to make video, statistics, and highlights. It is available over the web, or of course, you can put it up on your phone. It's the perfect place to keep your memories safe, share them, analyze them. We call it Stadio. Now, while Stadio and our technology really can be used for any sports, we started with soccer. That is because it's the largest youth sports in the US and because we have complete domain expertise. In fact, between our full-time employees, our advisors, and our partners, we have put together an A-class team of technologists, business people, and sports experts. And through one of these partnerships with a local Ann Arbor company, Perform 3D, we were actually able to get the ball started. Rolling. There you go. So Perform 3D is a worldwide expert in the production of cameras. Cameras, they made thousands of them, and they're done for sports applications. And their management team believes so much in our effort, our approach to the market, that they decided to invest $200,000 to make cameras made to our specs. And as of 2 weeks ago, the two systems work together. So let me show you how things work. First of all, we deploy these cameras. They are small, they are easy to install, they are very practical and economical to produce. We place them all around the field, so we have complete coverage from multiple perspectives. Then the magic starts. We employ our tracking algorithms so that we can see all the movements of all the players at any given time. By knowing where the action is, it means that we can control the cameras automatically. By knowing that at particular moments of interest, say a goal, maybe a goal I scored, has happened, then we can automatically trigger highlights. And by knowing where every player and the ball are at any given time, then we are able to produce statistics in real time. All of this content is then served to the consumers through our app and through our portal. In there, they can go a step further. They can create their own highlights, they can upload and share media. Now, if they want to access these features, then they pay us a little bit. A user fee, which is a single-digit price per month for basic subscription, which of course leaves plenty of space for upgrades. In addition, we have another source of income, advertising. Banner ads can be placed on the app or on pre-roll before our videos. We take all these revenues and we share them with our local partners, clubs, leagues, venues, because they give us space for our hardware and because they give us access to paying customers. That is the model we are using today in Pontiac and Ultimate Soccer Arenas. That's the place we call home for our first installations, and that is the place that Was FC, a local soccer club, calls home as well. They're giving us access to 1,200 initial subscribers. So this is the present. Let me just give you a little glimpse of the future. We want to have 6 installations in Metro Detroit in the next 6 months. That is in order to validate our market assumptions. But beyond that is a strong 2016 pipeline. It's built on collaborations with several local venues. through their collaborations and their commitment, it will translate into over 40 installations. So we have a great team which has produced a great product, and we have a great future ahead of us. So we are excited, and we are ready. We are ready to help a father watching his kid playing in Pontiac while he's away on a business trip in Singapore. We are ready to help a coach improve his team's performance through the use of video and statistics. And mainly, we are ready to help a child keep his memories forever. So if you're excited and ready, make sure that you stop any one of us wearing this awesome t-shirt, ask us any question, give us any comments or feedbacks. Thank you so much for your attention, and arrivederci.